Hello, America. I have to tell you, I don't even know where to begin other than tonight I want to appeal to your common decency. This is not about Republicans and Democrats anymore. This is about Americans. Who are we? Who are we? If we can't unite in the next 60 minutes, the country's just not going to stand. If we can't, no matter if you're for health care, against health care, unions, against whatever, if we can't unite on this, we won't be able to unite on anything. I'm about to show you some absolutely stunning video. But what I hope you will keep in mind when you're watching this story is so many people have this story wrong. When you hear your neighbors and friends talking about it, it involves Acorn. But this is not about Acorn. You already know who these people are. In your gut, you've known who these people are for a long time. We've been telling you for months now. As citizens, we need to focus on the bigger picture. This is one part of a very large picture. The mainstream media completely misses almost every point. They did it on the Van Jones thing. The left is still saying that, oh, that Glenn Beck, he's crazy on his over-the-top coverage of a special advisor to the president. Yet, in every single case, they have glossed over the facts that we presented over and over again to you. We asked somebody, please ask for answers, because we can't get any. Have they? No, no, no. Just attack the messenger. Van Jones was a self-proclaimed radical, revolutionary, communist. He called himself that. Each of the words that we would present to you were in his own words. The only time the media even referenced any of the issues of radical revolutionary was when they tried to equivocate of whether he was still any of those things when he was appointed. Supposedly, according to the media, he changed his mind on communism. Really? Gosh, we looked pretty hard. I mean, we were one organization that was actually looking for pivot points, and anything this man might have said, never saw him say that he disavowed any of it. Can anyone in the press provide the evidence? I'd love to play it. Show me his pivot point. Love to see it. I never have. But while looking for that pivot point that they all talk about, I did see this quote from Van Jones. Quote, I'm willing to forego the cheap satisfaction of the radical pose for the deep satisfaction of radical ends. In other words, he's still a radical. In other words, there were radicals in the White House advising our president. Should maybe somebody look into that? Let's say the man mellowed just a tad. Great. How many in the media are perfectly fine with a former radical revolutionary communist having the ear of the President of the United States? There's a question that maybe we should ask. Then we should follow it up with this. Are we so bereft of talent in a nation of 300 million people that we have to accept this guy, a tax cheat, as our Secretary of Treasury? Really? He's running the IRS. How about this? How about a guy who wants to de-develop our economy and redistribute the wealth in and among nations? That's a quote, as our science and technology czar, John Holdren, is. What about the guy who thinks that animals should be able to have attorneys and sue you? Who thinks you can be nudged into becoming a country that is a vegetarian country, one that should ban hunting, as does this guy, our new regulatory czar, Cass Sunstein, who was just confirmed last week. Isn't that great? Members of Congress, protect and defend that Constitution. I don't accept that in a country of 300 million people, with thousands of good Democrats, many of whom I may disagree with, but are fully capable of filling all of those key jobs, you know, without cheating on their taxes or coming anywhere near holding any kind of those radical views like I just mentioned. We can't find those people and put them in the administration? The president himself, in a clip that we've played over and over again, the president himself said how you figure out what he's all about. This answer came after John McCain, during the election, accused him of having a lot of Marxist friends. Here's what he said.
Let me tell you who I associate with. On economic policy, I associate with Warren Buffett and former Fed Chairman Paul Volcker. If I'm interested in figuring out my foreign policy, I associate myself with my running mate Joe Biden or with Dick Lugar, the Republican ranking member on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, or General Jim Jones, the former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO. Those are the people, Democrats and Republicans, who have shaped my ideas and who will be surrounding me in the White House.
Those guys aren't really surrounding him now. And really, it's not working to his advantage, to encourage us to continue to look who is surrounding. We're not talking tonight about Marxism. But now we're expected to believe and accept that the way to help people in the inner cities and set them on a path of growth and education is to support with tax dollars an organization that has demonstrated its corruption over and over and over and over again. Currently, arrests have been made in 14 states, many of them led by state Democrats. Thank you, Democrats, local Democrats, for still having a soul. They have nailed them on fraud, voter fraud, corruption. The tapes that we've shown you now involve tax fraud and the selling of illegal immigrants into the sex trade. And, just for the fun of it, good old-fashioned prostitution that everybody can get their arms around. While the government is going to make speeches and throw you a bone of cutting off funding, we're going to cut off funding. Really? Until the Republicans and the Democrats rise together and demand a full, independent, rigorous investigation that doesn't concentrate just on the local level and these few dirtbags, but goes all the way to the top, to the power brokers at the highest levels of ACORN and in our own halls of Congress and this administration. It's all going to be a